What's up everyone? I've been dancing for 10 years now as of October 2020. A few weeks ago I asked you all if you had any questions about my dance journey so far. I'm really happy with the questions that I received, so let's dive into them immediately. The first question is, what triggered you to start dancing? It all started in the summer of 2009 when I registered for university. On the way home in the car I was going through the brochures and magazines they provided me at registration. One of them was about sport activities that were organized by university, and as I was going through the brochure I came across the page that was about hip-hop dance. I didn't know anything about dancing at that point besides the things seen on TV and in Hollywood movies, if that's worth even anything. I've decided to check out the class filled with like 40-50 people and registered after the first class to do the full 2 semesters, which is really 24 classes of 1 hour in 1 year. So can I say that I learned a lot? No. But can I say that I learned at least something? Well, that's even debatable. However, it did keep my interest in dance, and when I during that year discovered about a dance school in Ghent called BOSS Dance Complex, I joined their classes in October 2010. Some of you might say that I have been dancing 11 years now instead of 10, if starting from 2009, but for me personally, those classes of the first year at university don't count. So my real start for me was in October 2010 with my first ever lyrical hip-hop class. The second question is, what made you or inspired you to choose this style of dancing? And something related to that, what does dancehall have that none of the other styles can give you? So as some of you might know, dancehall is the dance style that I focus on, and it's also the only dance style. But I didn't know dancehall at all back in 2010. I've never heard about the name dancehall, and the only dancehall songs I've ever heard were from Sean Paul when they were played on the local radio station. But at that time I didn't even know that these songs were dancehall. Okay, so after starting with lyrical hip-hop, I started adding more classes, such as Hip-Hop Basic, where we worked on the foundation of hip-hop, and a class called Raga. There are different opinions and ideas of what Raga is, but for the sake of this question, I will put it like this. Raga is a mix of hip-hop, afro, and dancehall. And that's also how I see it when watching videos of classes choreos titled Raga. I started taking the class of Joka Bongo during my second year, and most of the times dancehall songs were used during class. And this is also what really introduced me to the concept of dancehall moves, which is a super important aspect of dancehall. Over the years I kept doing this class and did a couple of dancehall classes here and there, but it was not something I was focusing on. At that time I wanted to become as good as possible in different styles. It was only in October 2017 when I started training again after an injury that I started focusing only on dancehall, and I haven't touched another style since. Now what made me choose this style? Well, compared to other styles, the music of dancehall is the one that resonates with me the most. The vibes of the music, the voices of the artists, all that together makes the music genre touch me more overall compared to other genres. And of course in dancing, music is important. Don't be mistaken, I also like songs from other genres, but there is no genre as a whole that resonates with me like dancehall. When it comes to the dance part, I like different type of moves. There are fast moves, slow moves, everything in between, party moves, and because most moves are based on actual real life situations and emotions, it's easier for me to make a connection between the dance and the person who I am. It's based on a culture. Coming from Jamaica, it's not something artificially cooked up in a lab. It's made by real people living a real life. So long story short, it matches most with who I am compared to all other dance styles that I've tried. The third question is, what are your favorite battle shoes? For the last 2 years, I've been using the Adidas Ultra Boost. I've used 6 pairs so far. I change them every 6 months because they're basically worn out by then, especially the cushioning, which is super important for us because we move around a lot and jump around a lot. And the shoes that I used to train and battle in are exactly the same. That way my feet are 100% accustomed to the shoes. I don't want to take the risk of only using a specific pair for battles because my feet will be used to the shoes I use for training. And then when I battle, I will suddenly have a different type of shoe which might negatively impact my performance. I'm not a fashion guru, obviously. So for me, it's performance over fashion. Question number 4. What advice would you give to people starting late? Foundation, foundation, foundation. Choreos look fancy and it might get you a lot of likes and views, but foundation is where it all starts. I know that the average age at a foundation class is in most cases not your age if you're starting late. Let's say that you're 23, 24, 25, then you might have the tendency to take classes with people of your age group. Now these people might already be in intermediate or advanced choreo classes, and I guess it makes sense to join those classes from a social point of view, but if they're purely choreo classes, then they won't help you with foundation. I'm not saying choreo classes are useless, but most choreo classes are not gonna let you do drills for 1.5 hours. So if you wanna start and actually wanna be a dancer, start with foundation. You can combine it with a choreo class with the emphasis on combine, but foundation comes first, ever and always. I know some now will say, but we do foundation during warm-up. To those people, let me tell you this. You have warm-up and you have foundation. It's either of the two. You can use foundation during warm-up, but it doesn't mean that you're training your foundation. Warm-up and foundation are two different things. And if your teacher says that it's enough to just use foundation once during warm-up, then well, it's time to find another teacher. Question number 5. What are your biggest lessons you've learned over the years? I have 3 things. First one, foundation and groove will enable you to do anything you want in your dance. Your freestyle will be better, and dancers who do choreos will tell you the same about choreos too. Second one, every dance style is coming from culture, and in most cases from a minority or oppressed group of people. Don't just take the dance and run with it, and don't look back. Learn more about the culture, its origin, and understand that you're a guest. Treat the culture and the dance with the respect it deserves. It's not easy, it's a continuous process, and it will ask a lot of energy and time outside the classroom. Third one, your most important trainings are the ones you don't feel like doing. The ones you do when you're tired, the ones you do when you just don't feel like it actually. The ones you do when other people are watching a new series on Netflix. Those trainings will define who you are. Because it's easy to train when you're hyped and full of energy and so on, but these will challenge you less than the ones that you don't feel like doing. Question number 6. What is your ultimate or final goal? When I decided to focus on dancehall, I set a goal for myself. I love dancing, but to train or to be ready to train, work out, gain knowledge, day in, day out, week in, week out, month after month, year after year, I had to have a goal. One specific thing within dancing are competitions, and more specifically, there are battles. Dance battles, in most cases, pit 2 dancers against each other. The DJ plays a song, and each dancer dances around to that song. Judges decide who wins a battle, and that person goes on to the next battle until the finals, and the winner of that final, like in any other sports event, is the big winner. I want to be that winner. When it comes to dancehall battles, I want to be the best to ever do it. Not just in Belgium, but in the whole world. I really like this quote from the late great Kobe Bryant about why he played the game. I want to be the best, simple and plain. And to be the best you have to win. That's why I play the game. So every time when my training starts, it's to work towards that goal. And I promised myself that I would do whatever it takes every single time to get better, to improve, to take a step closer to my goal. Question number 7. What's your biggest motivation to keep you going despite the setbacks? The answer to this question ties back to the previous question. I've set my goal and promised to do whatever it takes. There are setbacks. The current pandemic is a perfect example. Events are limited and international travel is problematic. And in the future, there will be new setbacks. The biggest motivation is that I've only set one goal. I don't have a plan B, which means that if I fail at my dream, I don't have anything to fall back on. And I'm not talking about money or stuff like that. Me as a person, what's within my heart. Even if I have all the money in the world, fancy car, fancy home, my heart will still be shattered if I don't achieve my goal. My biggest motivation is my intrinsic motivation and my conscious decision to only have one goal and set everything up to contribute towards that goal. So, that are my answers to these 7 questions. I will do another video where I will answer more questions. So if you're interested in that, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and see you in the next video. Kobo out.